morning. Good morning, everybody. I'm making this video for a young lady named Amita. She's on my Facebook, Adults with Autism Support Group. She posted something, and my heart really went out to her because I've experienced this most of my life. So her post read, has anyone else ever had somebody that was very close to them, who they had no problems with at all of a sudden block them on every social media? I'm assuming that this person is not on the spectrum. I want to talk a little bit about, both sides, because I'm 38 now. I experienced this type of, interactions with people so much when I was younger that, for a long time in my life, I kept trying to figure out what was wrong with me, and kept trying to do things different, do things what I thought like people, wanted, to try to fit into their world, and and I've sat down and recapped on my actions and my behavior, and tried to really understand why everybody kept pushing me away. And it came down to, my conclusion with that is that it's okay to have friends and, loved ones that are neurotypical. Any neurotypicals that get us, they must have put some work into it as well, and they must really genuinely care about us, So that's a really good thing, But I do know that you can spend half of your life trying to figure out what's wrong with you, and then come to the conclusion that there's nothing wrong with you, that you're just different. And if that person doesn't, see the good qualities that you have, then you really don't need friends like that. And I know it's easier said than done. It's kind of hurtful. It can leave somebody feeling like they're crazy. I'm autistic, and today I managed pretty well. As in my youth, I really had issues with relationships, maintaining relationships. And I'm not talking about just dating. I'm talking about maintaining relationships with even friends. I never kept a friend longer than a couple of months. And I wasn't, in my mind, I didn't feel I was doing anything wrong, but the way that I talked, I think it made people uncomfortable. You see, I'm a very much like an open book. I would talk about things that should be difficult for most people to have a conversation about. I would just talk about things so openly and ask personal questions of theirs, and they were I guess not saying it because the way I came off as I wasn't trying to insult them, and I think that they knew that, but I think that just my asking them questions or things that they didn't want to really talk about kind of left them feeling awkward maybe, and they kind of pushed me away. I'm still don't know. I can't sit here and tell you what other people thought, or why they did that. But I do know that I experienced what you're talking about, Amita, and today I find it easier, and affects my self-esteem less if I, if I just usually make friends more with autistic adults. I experienced, I had family members, I had siblings that would be like, oh, let's go do this, let's go out and go on some go do some activity out, and go in the car, and I would go and get my money and hand it over to my siblings and tell them okay, I'm ready to go, and they would send me back upstairs to go get something. and they would take off without me. And they would take my money and they would go and do the activity with my money without me. And they would leave me there, and I would be all sad, and I wouldn't understand why they did that. And I would beat myself up about it, because I didn't know why. I was like, I'm talking now, like I can communicate now, like why are they doing this still? You know, it didn't make any sense. And I think it takes a while, you know, for people. I mean, a person, you have to understand that we are very like autistic people, and like from what I've met other autistic people and knowing myself, we're very like genuine people. We're very real, and we're always about like, we're very forgiving. We're always about like, you know, self-help. We're always trying to help ourselves, engage other people better. We're always like, we're very optimistic people, you know, and, you know, you'd be surprised how much the world is not like that, you know, and how much they hold grudges, and how much like they, you know, will hold on to something that was just an awkward moment, and they'll just like, you know, and this is another thing. A lot of neurotypicals, they like to gossip, and conversations, you know, like an awkward incident with you would just leave you wondering, oh, what happened, like what's going on, and you'll sit there and you'll think about it, and you'll try to work on it, actually work on finding out why this happened. Neurotypicals gonna go and tell it to everybody else, and then they're all gonna, it's called gossiping. Okay. The way that we deal with things is different than neurotypicals, and it often leaves, you know, I bet you like some other person commented on a situation that maybe that person had with you, I'm assuming, and they put their 2 cents in without even understanding fully what's going on, you know. And I think that, you know, that could be the problem. And someone's like, oh, just block them, like you need a break, you know. And it's like, hello, we're freaking people. You don't just close me out, put me on a shelf whenever you decide you're ready to deal with me, you know. It's very hurtful. I'm really sorry that happened to you, Amita. That's not cool. And that just shows you like how not, you know, evolved they are. A lot of people, you'll come to realize that autistic people, we like to like work on the issue. Like we want to resolve the issue. We want to know what's going on. We want to fix things. You know, neurotypicals usually don't want to deal with it. They don't want to deal with anything. They consider it stress. They consider it drama, you know. And that's, you know, there's where the difference comes in, you know. We're different types of people. Our brains work differently, you know. The way we communicate is different, you know. The way we express ourselves is different, you know. I'm very expressive by myself. When I talk about anything, I'll talk about, you know, like past traumas. I'll talk about it, but it doesn't affect me emotionally. I can talk about these things and be totally fine. Like if they're just like me trying to understand, you know, facts, you know, like I'm just throwing the facts on the table, and like I can sort it out without having any awkward feeling about it. But I notice how when I do that with neurotypicals, they get really uncomfortable. Like I just did a video just recently talking about how my autism saved me from the hood, and I expressed that I went through a lot of trauma, you know, growing up, and I described the trauma, and I bet you some viewers probably were like, whoa, that's a little bit too much information. But that is how I express myself. I put everything out there. That's just, those are all the facts. There's no reason to hide any of them, you know? And I think there's just different. I think it's time that you start making more friends. There's an app called Hickey. I think they overcharge you, but you can actually meet other autistics in your area. It's kind of like a meet me type of app where you can meet, and it's not just for dating, it's for meeting friends and stuff like that. It is overpriced. I did it one time, but you could at least meet a couple of friends in your area and then cancel the subscription. I don't know. I'm in San Diego. I'll be your friend. I don't know where you are though, but I friend requested you on Facebook, so I hope that video helped. Don't feel bad. It's not you. It's just differences.